welcome back to God of Onions podcast Layer 9. I am Hiral Mehta, your host. I am a contemporary artist and the owner of my lifestyle and art brand House of Hiral, where I design and create lifestyle products, and also the founder of God of Onions. Today, we have Gokul Raj, the CEO and founder of MadCap. MadCap is India's largest platform for artists to showcase their talent and folks to learn new art from every day. So let me add Gokul to this live.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. It's an honor having you on my platform because your team told me that, it's the first time you have agreed to interview or be interviewed by someone. And it's an honor that my platform is the first.
Well, my pleasure, my pleasure. You're doing an amazing job yourself. So it's my pleasure to be here. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, by the way, so before we start, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Why Gods of Onion, right?
Yes. So God of Onions, basically, if you must have heard the introduction, this is basically a platform for all the artists. So the main philosophy of God of Onions is come from the philosophy of onions itself, where, you open layers. And you go inside. So whenever I interview people, I don't call it episode 1 or episode 2. I call it as layer 1, layer 2, and yours is layer 9.
Oh, wow, interesting. Very nice. Very nice. So I wish my team thought about this when we started our episodes, live episodes. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. So.
I think I should thank my team. So.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job. Yeah, very nice.
Very nice. Amazing. So I think we can start with our questions, and I'm quite intrigued on how you've started with your journey.
Okay. Okay. Let me simplify the story. Okay, so I started as MadCap 6 years back. So MadCap was a design studio. I mean, still a design studio based out of Chennai. We design stationery merchandise. We sell through our own e-commerce site, madcap.in, and we also sell across other Amazon and other Flipkart and other aggregators as well. So while we were doing that, one of my friends, who's a very good artist based out of Chennai, wanted to do a workshop, right? So, and he tried out a couple of ways to do a workshop. This was back in 2016, 17, something like that. And he used to roam around to hotels, try to book banquet halls, and arrange the tables, the chairs, the food, and the materials, each and everything, right? And he was also doing a full-time job as well, so it is pretty difficult for him to manage everything. But even then, he put up a pretty good show, but it's pretty tiring for him, right? So he asked me one day, Gokul, can you help me out with this stuff? I'm like, yeah, why not? I have a couple of guys who are not doing anything in the office. I'll probably tell them to help me out. So I told one of my guys to help them out, and we took care of all the physical arrangements and also the ticketing as well. And he just has to walk in, do a workshop, and then go off, right? So that was the first thing we did, and we did it back in 16. Yeah, and this was never a serious business, right? So I mean, at least for us, so we were just doing it once in 2 months or once in 3 months for a couple of my friends in Chennai, and so this was happening for a year and a half. And the end of 2017, I actually hired a girl from Coimbatore, and for a designer job. Right? She was supposed to design stationery and merchandise for my company, but within a month, within a month in a job, she told me she wants to quit and she doesn't want to do this particular job. Right? I'm like, why do you want to do that? So then she told me that she was very interested in building a community, trying to get into building a platform or try to at least explore this whole art workshop thing, right? It was very new at that point in time, 16, 17. Not a lot of people were doing it, and I don't think there was any platform for people to just go jump in and do this stuff. Artists were still going around, figuring out their own places, whole marketing and doing it. And so I told this girl, why not you try this out for a couple of months and see how it goes, and from there on we can take it forward. And 2018, we launched officially. And we thought, okay, we're going to do this a proper thing, and I put up a couple of guys as a full-time resource to this project, and we started this as a side gig in 2018 with one workshop in Chennai with an artist by the name Sandhya Swaminathan. So at that point, the goal was to be a plug-and-play platform for artists to just come to a city to do a workshop and go off, right? Wherein we take care of anything and everything regarding to the workshop. That's all we want. We want the artist to do, just teach. So yeah, we started off in 2018 as a side gig, and from there on, it just snowballed. It was a snowball effect.
Wow.
Initially, we used
I
to.
have
I
seen
remember.
that.
Yeah. So I remember me and my teammates, we used to go on Instagram and call up artists and ask them, would you work with us? Would you work with us? I think we had like 10, 20, 30 followers at the point in time. So, but then yeah, we used to do that. And yeah, so it was like an I mean, we used to get those guys in, but now the whole thing is turned around, right? So from there, we grew pretty big. And before the pandemic, we were across 10 cities in India. And the reason we even went to different cities is not because we want to expand, it's because artists want to go there, right? Once we got the artists in Chennai, in and around Chennai, I mean, with our platform, they're like, Gokul, can you get me to Bombay, get me to Bangalore, get me to Hyderabad? So we had to explore that particular venues in the place and also form a team. So by early 2020s, we had a team. I mean, we had team in 10 cities. We had a couple of guys in every city, and we used to fly in artists across India every week, right? One funny thing, one interesting thing that we did was we actually did a tour with few artists. Right, every weekend they'll be in a different city. So like for like 2, 3 months together, every weekend they'll be in a different city, and we fly them and fly them out. So that was very nice. So yeah, that's
Wow.
how it happened.
That's a very interesting journey altogether. Having people from all 10 cities and artists flying
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah,
that's so
yeah.
interesting. It's really amazing. So, understanding that you have artists taking workshops at your space, which are the other
Uh-huh.
businesses which you have apart from the workshops?
So now, I mean, right now, Workshop is its own business vertical. We formed a separate company for it, and we have a set of team members who do
Yes.
it. And like I said, MadCap is the other company. It's the bread and butter, right? So where we design stationery and merchandise. We do about 25 to 30 quirky products. We sell through madcap.in. But majorly, we also export as well. We also have another brand called, not, I mean, this brand is not known in India per se. It's called Hazel Notebooks.
Yes.
So these are journals for the CEOs and artists, and we export these journals basically to Europe and US. That's a major market. So
Amazing.
yeah, that's what we do. So by the way, I'm not an artist. I'm a mechanical engineer. I don't have anything to do with the whole art space at all. So
But I think it's amazing. I think with the whole journey and having artists along with you is the most amazing thing.
yeah. It's a fun, and it's a learning, right? So to deal with
True.
different artists from different cities, get to know their personalities, their ego, all that stuff. It's very, very interesting.
The
So
whimsical.
yeah.
True, true. So somebody had commented long ago, I think, that Gokul is finally not a host today.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the first time I'm even answering questions on Instagram. So very nice.
Well, it's amazing. It's an honor for us. So yes. So my next question is, what motivated? I think you've already spoken on what motivated you to start MadCap Workshops. So I'll go to the next. What is the quirkiest project or the quirkiest piece of art that you have been a part of?
Uh, Quirkiest project. Okay, that actually happened recently with the whole pandemic, right? So we
Yeah.
got a call from one of the big corporates. I think it's Google or Deloitte, somebody. They gave us a call and they said they want to do a workshop, an online workshop, obviously for all the participants. I mean, of their customers or colleagues, whatever, right? I mean, we've done that earlier multiple times, but most of the times it'll be a doodle workshop or a mandala workshop, something that they can just pick up a pen, pencil, or a watercolor and do it. But these guys, they want to do a fluid mandala workshop, but then they don't want anybody to go and buy stuff. So they want us to ship, and they also want they were like over 500-600 participants, and they want to have 10 artists in total, so that each artist would have about 15-20 people, something like that. So they want to do that as well. So that was a pretty interesting project, and we had to ship about across 5 countries. So we had to ship across 5 countries, And yeah, that was a very interesting thing. And we had to pull. And other interesting thing, all 10 artists have to teach the same thing at the same time. And all of these
Wow.
were happening parallelly. 10 workshops were happening parallelly at the same time. So that was crazy. So,
Wow. I think that's amazing. I mean, that's a very interesting project, in different countries
yeah,
and all 10 artists at the same time. That's wow.
yeah,
That's amazing.
that was crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That was very interesting. And that pushed us a lot. But then yeah, it was very interesting. So,
Amazing. Amazing. So I'll go to my next question. What challenges have you faced in your journey so far?
okay. Loads of challenges. How do I put this? See, one with this workshops alone per se. Initially, when we started off, getting artists to even believe in us and make sure they understand that we can deliver was a big challenge, right?
True.
Because we also want to get an artist who is good enough to teach, who can actually give content and also transfer knowledge to the participants. So that was a very difficult job for us to convince artists to work with us and also share revenue. Because until then, they were used to not sharing any revenue at all. So when we came and we were like, you know what, I'm going to take a big chunk of your revenue, but then I'm going to deliver you this and this stuff. That was very hesitant. So that was the big challenge when we started off. But then again, the biggest challenge was the scaling up, right? When we had to move to different cities, and we had to set up team in different cities, that was a big challenge. I had to go hire people there. And see, the other thing is we don't have fixed venues. See, I don't own places in any of those cities except Chennai. So in every city that we go to, we either sign up a co-working space on a long-term lease or some other dance studio or whatever, right? So that was a big challenge to make sure every weekend we had at least few options available in every city. Because 10 cities had workshops happening every weekend. So that was a big challenge. And yeah, the other interesting challenge was whole logistics, the whole materials, right? So this is a very interesting thing. So every city will have different workshops, different artists every weekend, but then we ship the materials from Chennai to all the venues, right?
Venues, yes.
So the thing about materials is I can't ship. Imagining, let's say 100 people are going to turn up and I can't ship 100 materials to the venue. And
True.
if let's say only 20 people turn up, then the 80 materials are like they're like waste, right? So it'll be just in my dead stock. So what we used to do is at the peak 2020, early 2020, we let's say the workshop was on Saturday or Sunday, either Thursday or Friday, we used to ship those materials from Chennai, and that was a big challenge to buy bulk amount of materials, segregate them, pack them. So that was a big challenge. So that's something that was happening. So yeah, I think those were those big challenges. Yeah, and yeah, so we also faced some issues as well. So see, initially when we started the whole MadCap workshops, we didn't realize how the finances would work. We made some mistakes. We had some bad blood with the artists. We didn't do what we promised to do initially when we started off. But then yeah, so all those are passed out right now. So those are good learning. So and then we brought in some people to make sure we straighten the business and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, wow. That's wow. That's interesting. Someone also said you did all of this along with your full-time job.
The interesting thing is I've never gone to a job, so I've never been to a
Okay.
job. So
Okay.
this is my this is my third venture, right? So when I passed out of college, when I did I did my masters in US, and when I passed out of college, the next week after graduation, I was in India to do my first venture called Zapstore.com. That was way back in 2011. Yeah,
Okay.
2011, yeah, about
Yes.
10 years back. So, but that didn't work out the way I thought it would. So, a couple of years later, I had to close it down. But then that didn't stop me from starting another one.
Another venture.
Then I started something called My Copy. That was really cool. These were notebooks focused on college students. But then I eventually sold that business to a different manufacturer. And then we started off MadCap. Yeah, so this is the full-time gig. I have like 20, 15 people working for me in each of these ventures. So this is my
Wow.
full-time gig.
Wow. 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 Hats off to you.
Oh
That's
no.
amazing. Yes. So I'll go to my next question now.
Yeah.
How do you choose your artists to be a part of your platform?
Oh my
Yes.
God. I don't know if I should say the truth or if I just should say a sugar coated answer. So, okay, anyway, see, the thing that I personally look out for artists, before that, disclaimer, right? See, there is a due process on how we select artists. It's not an individual who just goes and says, I like the artwork. I'm going to work with this artist or that artist, right? So, but the crux of the process is that we look out for first how good they are in what art form that they want to teach, right? So if an artist approaches us and says, what, I'm good at 10 different art forms and I want you to choose me what workshop you want me to come, then for us that's not interesting. What we tell the artist, what, if you want to work with us, choose one art form that you think you're really good at, then send across your artwork so that we can figure out if that's good or not and then take it forward, right?
True.
And once we figure out that their artworks are really good, they're intricate and stuff, then we figure out the teachability, right? So how good are they when it comes to teaching, and how good are they when it comes to even explaining what they're going to teach in the workshop? That is something that we look at. And so these are the two major things that we look at, right? And also experience. See, age doesn't matter. We've worked with artists as young as 15, as old as 70. So age is not an issue with us.
True.
We look at experience, teachability, and also how good they are in the choose an art form. One thing that doesn't interest us is if you just tell us that, like I said earlier, I'm good at 10 different art forms and I don't know what to choose, you choose. Then I'm like, we're not interested. So that doesn't interest us anymore. So I think we agree that an artist can be really good at multiple art forms, but we also truly believe that you have to be you can't be jack of all trades. You have to there has to be some signature style to you as an artist, something that people recognize you as, right? So that's something that we look out for. Yeah, and then one other interesting thing, we don't want them to do any free workshops.
I mean, of course, yes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think so. You expect, I'm sure a lot of artists are here. So you expect the artists to be specific, clear, and know what exactly they are doing,
Yeah.
and they should know what their strengths are. So
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
looking at for the artists. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
We're
art
also,
by,
I want to add on to that, right? So
yes,
with this experience of handling about, or at least working with about 500 plus artists until now, one thing we've learned is there are really good artists across India and abroad, but the major thing where they actually not fail, but then find it difficult is the whole teachability factor, right? They're not able to convey what they want to teach properly. So we're actually launching an artist training course of some kind this month or next month. Then if you're really good at something that you do and if you want to teach, then we help you figure out your own curriculum, the way you teach, all that stuff.
wow, that's a very interesting initiative for artists as
Yeah,
well. Because I'm sure
yeah,
that a lot of artists, they do not know the communication part of it, or they may not know the
yeah,
branding bit
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I think that's an amazing initiative from your end.
Is it
So
okay to drink a coffee? Is it
sure,
okay to
please.
drink my
I have,
coffee?
yeah, sure. I've been having my tea too.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So Art by Fatima asks, will this live be saved? Yes, this live will be saved. And this will be saved only for few days, after which it's going to go to our podcast as well as our YouTube channels.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Amazing. So I'm done with my questions, but I have one personal question which I wanted to
Uh-huh.
ask. I saw your newsletter. I saw Kanak Nanda. I saw an African artist over there.
Uh-huh.
So, what intrigues you with your newsletter, and what exactly do you cover on your newsletters?
You mean the blog, right?
Yes, the blog.
So in the blog, it's my own personal stuff. So when I interview these artists on creative chips, if I think their story is very interesting, very intriguing, if that can actually, or if that should reach out to a lot of people, then we cover them on a blog, right? And these African artists are just, they're just mind blowing with their talent, right? And the
Wow.
dedication is like second to none. it's just crazy what they do. Some of these guys, at least no, most of these guys, they're from this country called Nigeria. At least the ones that I've interacted with, and they're all in. They're either in poverty or they're just average. But then they've always had some political difficulty, personal issues. But then they've overcome all that, and they've figured out what they want to do, and they've created their own niche, right?
Wow.
And those cases were a huge inspiration. And we've recently launched in Nigeria as well. I think a couple of weeks back. Uh, we actually worked with a couple of Nigerian artists to conduct workshops in India. We have one happening, I think, next weekend as well. And now we're launching a chapter of MadCap Workshops in Nigeria for those artists in Nigeria. So, wherein we can do workshops locally for them and also in that particular time zone. So, that's something that we're looking at. So,
Wow, that's amazing. That's wow. So, understanding that you're the India's largest platform, hoping that you become the largest platform globally too very soon.
oh yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. It's a pain in the ass to be. I don't know if I can say. Okay, I said that
The
now, man. So
operations.
yeah, it's a pain in the dash to be to be operation is very difficult, and also you've got to be every day up to churn, right? It's not like you do something, you sit down, and then but then there's a lot of competition as well. They push us to do what we do. But then yeah, I'm very grateful to all the artists who believed in us, who still believe in us, and I think that's how we've grown. So without them, I don't think we'd be here. So
Amazing. That's amazing. So, wow, that's a very beautiful journey, and a lot of hard work, a lot of things. I think it's very inspirational. So,
yeah.
I'm going to be leaving the questions for the audience. So, before I said I'm leaving the questions for the audience, already have a question from artbloom.in. He asks, did pandemic hit your business growth?
Yeah, it did. So Jan 2020, we were at our peak. Like I said, 10 cities doing all that crazy stuff. And then Feb happened, and then March, the lockdown came in, right? So when
Yes.
you're doing offline in-person workshop, we sell tickets at least a month or two in advance for people to buy. So when the whole lockdown hit, we thought it's going to be 2 weeks or 3 weeks max. But then when we thought it, when we believed that it's going to go beyond that, then we had to refund the tickets, right? So we had to refund about, I think, 4 to 5 lakh rupees worth of tickets to participants. So that was crazy. And that happened. And yeah, and then also there was a period of 4 5 days where I didn't know what to do. I was just sitting in the home idle, didn't know what to do. I was just looking at watching all sitcoms like everybody else. Uh, and then I got exposed to this whole online thing. Until then, I didn't realize that whole art thing could be done online. Because I personally believe that art is a hands-on thing and it has to be offline, in-person workshops, right? So one of my good friends in the whole startup community in Chennai pushed me to do this, and my wife introduced me to this thing called Zoom. Until then, I didn't know Zoom existed at all. So we got a license and we tried it out in April first week or April second week. We launched our first online workshop. And then, yeah, then it's been crazy. And in this past 14, 15 months, we've done about 1,000 workshops just online. And they've all been paid workshops. We've never done a free workshop.
Wow.
I don't think we will ever do a free workshop. I think and we've catered to about 35,000 people easily. And yeah, so it's been, I mean, it's actually been a pretty good journey. I think we've grown a lot. With respect to revenue numbers, I think a couple of the months back we met what we were achieving pre-pandemic, just with the online thing. But then yeah, it's pretty cool. So, but now it's going to be
Wow.
omni-channel. From now on, we're going to be omni-channel. So let's say the whole pandemic ends and we agree to live with COVID, then we're going to start offline workshops again, and it's going to be both online and offline put together. So
Interesting. That's quite interesting. And getting a revenue more than before the pandemic, I think the digital age is
yeah,
something which is amazing.
yeah. My friends used to say, "Nothing. You're the only one who's happy when there's a lockdown." I'm like,
Well, but also you have to alter yourself with the situation,
yeah,
which you have done. So,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
that's very true.
Amazing.
One of the artists I'm so sorry if I must have not pronounced your name wrong. Lucky Rain. She
No,
says,
her name is actually Yachna. She is actually
okay.
an amazing digital artist. She's living in Berlin right now,
Oh,
and we
wow.
work with her on a regular basis. And yeah, she's just mind blowing. Her work is just amazing. So,
Oh, wow. I should really check her page. So she says,
yeah, yeah.
thanks to you, Gokul. That, okay, so understanding that, you have a lot of artists and, you doing business, I'm sure your business will never go down because you're already supporting a lot of artists yourself.
Uh
So,
huh.
yes, that's very
Never say
true.
never. So touch wood.
Touch wood. So,
Yeah.
yes. So, does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Gokul?
Yeah. See, Fatima is also an artist from Malaysia. Art by Fatima. I think she's the one who asked you, will the live be saved, right?
Yes,
She's
yes, yes,
actually an
yes.
artist from Malaysia. She does
Okay.
beautiful one stroke paintings.
Oh, wow. That's,
Yeah.
I did check her page, but I think I saw the resin work and the jewelry work. That's one, the art with Fatima.
No, no, this is this, and that's a different
Okay,
Fatima. That's I
will the
think that's
light, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's Fatima. That's also Fatima, but then I think
Yes,
that's a different Fatima than talking about. Yeah, yeah.
amazing. So, BR Walia asks, can workshops be organized for differently abled people also?
Interesting question. So we want to. First thing, I don't know how to. So, but then we actually done one. So, I think when the whole pandemic started, right? I think couple of months or 2 3 months into it, we had a call from a teacher in, I think from a school in Delhi, and they were actually a set of teachers who were teaching differently abled kids. Um, and they told us that they want their teachers to participate in the workshop, right? So their teachers were also differently able. Some of them weren't able to hear. Some of them, I mean, yeah, basically, I think some of them weren't able to hear. Some of them weren't able to talk. So they want us to do a workshop for them, and we had no clue how to do it. But then, yeah, they actually got in some translators into the workshop, and we did a few workshops with them. I think they also got published in the Hindu South edition or something. So that is
Wow.
very interesting. Yeah, so it's definitely possible, but I think it's easier if it's done in an offline space. Online space,
True,
it's kind of still not that feasible. So
true. That's very true. So, Art by Fatima says, thank you, Gokul Raj. I'm so sorry, Fatima. I must have confused you with someone else. And we've got another question. Tanvi is here. She asks, can we have workshops on lip-in art and sculpture making or pottery?
see, we definitely want to do sculpture making and pottery, right? But the thing with the whole online thing is, it's going to be very difficult for people to get access to it. The materials per se. If it's a pottery, then we need to have the pottery wheel and all that stuff. So we're very interested to do this. And lip-on art is something we're looking out for a good artist who can actually teach lip-on art. So if you know anybody, just ping us, and then we'll be more than happy to work with you guys.
Amazing, amazing. So, electricvehicleweb.in
That's my
says,
best friend. So he's
okay, sorry. Thank you. Oh God.
yeah, I think he's here to screw me up. So mm,
Yes, that happens a lot of times during lives. The artists who I'm interviewing, they have their friends coming in.
yeah, but then
So,
this guy name is Shravan. So
okay.
uh, he had I mean he used to run this website called IndianAutosBlog.com, and it was India's number one, I think number two in the world with respect to automobile content and
Oh,
website.
wow.
And he exited that business, and he recently started this electric vehicle web.in, which is focused on Europe and US for electric vehicles. And he is personally one of the top automobile journalists in India. So
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And he also asks, I want to ask Gokul Raj about his friends group of friends who inspire.
yeah, Macha, you actually inspire me. You are my whole inspiration in life. You motivate me from day in and day out. The moment I wake up, I see you. The moment I go to sleep, I see you. So, but then, yeah,
He,
the truth is actually, I mean, he is an inspiration. There are a lot of other friends as well who inspire me. And This guy actually helped me a lot with respect to motivation and all that stuff. He's a bundle of positivity. So yeah, I mean, we go back about I think 10 years, I guess. So but then,
Wow.
yeah, so I think it's good, always good to have friends who actually give. I mean, not just rant, but also give you positive thoughts and push you, right. So this is he's one of those guys. So,
Amazing, amazing. So he also says, I mean, surely he has to talk about his positive influence in his life. Agreed, totally agreed. So, mystified with Nirmay. Oh my God, hi Anna. So, does he also know him or he knows you?
uh, I think he knows me. I think he's
Yeah.
from Bangalore, I guess. So
Yes, he's from Bangalore. Yes,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think so
yeah.
as well. Yes.
Please
Sid
keep a
Lion.
doodling live session. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, I think we have doodle workshop happening every week. Every week, so we have at least 4 or 5 doodle workshops happening every week. You can definitely go check out our website, and we have some amazing artists who do doodle sessions for all age groups. So,
Amazing, amazing. So, does anyone else have any questions for Gokul Raj? And while your friend has said we are all planted actors, amazing. Does he
okay,
mean
okay,
by
he's going
Shakespeare
too
also?
philosophical.
Yes,
Yeah, he's going
Shakespeare.
too philosophical. Yeah.
True, true. We are all actors on our. I forgot the quote by Shakespeare myself. So,
That's okay.
yeah, yes, great. So, we have 10 minutes more to this live session.
Uh,
Yes. So I'm gonna just keep one last question. If any artists have any questions, you all can ask Gokul Raj now.
I mean, if you have any questions, you can ask me as well, so I can still answer. So.
Um, okay. So understanding that within 5 years you've expanded so much, not only in India, of course, out of India as well.
Uh,
So how I'm sure that you must have sat with your team, understanding the operations bit and everything together. It
yeah,
must have been a lot of crazy hectic schedules for you and a
yeah.
lot of things. How did you manage planning yourself? All the things.
Oh my God. I actually used this book. Okay, I'm gonna pitch a product. So, so this is a book called Dream, Believe, and Create.
Okay.
So this is a book done by one of my first recruits in my first company. His name is Manoj. So he has a website called the Positive Store. I'm just gonna type it in. So I think there's also an Instagram page for it. So this guy does this beautiful journal. This is called Dream, Believe, and Create. And I do this every day morning. I fill this up. So I'll just show you an empty thing. Right? So this is how it's going to be. So when you start off every day morning, you write about what you're grateful.
I'm writing it
Yeah,
down. Yes.
yeah. It says I'm grateful for, right. So you you write your top 5 things that you're grateful for every day, and then your top goals for the year, right? So every
Yes.
day you write this up. I think the more you repeat, I think it also gets implanted in your
Subconsciously.
subconscious. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is something that I do every day morning, and then immediately on the next page we have this one, right? Things to do. What are the things that you want to do in this particular day, and then the top 5 things that you want to achieve, and also this water. These are like blah blah stuff. This I don't think I haven't done it, but I'm really sorry, Manoj, but then yeah. So these are things that I really like. So this
Interesting.
actually helps me a lot. This
Can you give
helps
me
me a
the
lot.
book name again? I think I should note it down as well.
It's just dream, believe, and
Dream,
create.
dream, believe. I can't
Create.
believe that I am actually writing down this book during the interview while I am taking.
That's okay.
I'm
The company name is the Positive Store. So you
the
can Google
positive
the
store.
positive. Yeah, it's also on Instagram as well. So
Amazing. So now a lot of artists and sorry, a lot of people are asking questions. So
I think we have a question for you.
can the interviewer talk about how she came across MadCap? Of course, it's a
Vachan, thanks.
so as you know, I have my other page called as House of Hiral. I started God of Onions in the month of April, but I have been following your work since 2 years. or
Oh,
one and a half
really?
year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, since this pandemic started. And this
Wow.
was all I had already planned the people who I was going to interview, and yours was one of it because I was seeing MadCap workshops growing, as you said, the snowball effect. I was
Yeah, yeah.
literally seeing your page growing very fast, and I had always
See,
planned
that's a
to,
secret to it. That
yeah.
was a secret to it. Okay. See, we've never run a campaign for likes, for engagement. I think the only campaigns that we run is to sell tickets for workshop. That's something that I tell all my artists. I tell them never run a campaign for to increasing your likes or followers. That doesn't make any sense. You're gonna blindly get fake followers and fake likes. But one thing that we doubled down on when the whole pandemic hit was the whole Instagram, right? So before the pandemic, when you run an ad on Instagram, the cost per click would be around 10, 12 rupees or something. But when the whole pandemic hit, it came down to 20 paisa and 30 paisa. So that was a huge thing for then we were like, oh shit, then we got to double down. Then we increased our ad budget during the first few months of pandemic. That helped us reach out to a lot more people, lot more audience. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is you've got to look out for opportunities, right? So that is
True,
an opportunity that my team went after that actually
true,
worked out very
true.
well for us.
That's amazing because I had already thought of starting with God of Onions last year. And I was
Uh-huh.
about to interview people at art galleries and everywhere. And I thought, this year maybe I'll be able to start. But then the second wave got hit. And I thought, I can't wait. I have to start this
Yeah,
digitally.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yes. So the people who I'm already interviewing now are something which I've
Uh-huh.
already planned. You will not
Wow,
believe
nice.
that.
Wow, nice, nice. I actually like your interview with Sanjana, right? Sanjana, right?
Sanjana Chetlani. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bombay
She's just
Electric
amazing, man.
Company.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, she was
yeah. Amazing.
amazing. She had spoken about how she came up, about her businesses.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you can also check my interview, my first interview, which was with Paul Antonio. He's a
Really, I'll do that.
Yes, he's a London-based calligrapher who also writes for the Queen of England.
Wow,
Yes,
crazy.
I had launched this podcast with him, ideally, my
Wow,
first
amazing.
interview. But that interview, you may also be able to, I'll send the links to you. I will surely send the links to you.
Amazing. Before we move to the next question, I've got to give a shout out to Maria. Maria is again a Persian illumination artist. Her work is just crazy. I think it's very
Wow.
unique. We're doing a master class with her, I think, next weekend. I think we're also doing a course. Yeah, actually, we're launching a set of courses, right? So when we launched the whole online workshop, we launched with 2 hour workshops. And I think then we did 4, 6, 7 hours. Now we do something called master classes that go from 10 to 20 hours across multiple weekends. And we're launching something that's beyond master class. We call them courses. And that's going to be for a full month, focus on one particular art form where if you are a beginner, you can come there. And when you go out of it, you would have learned all the expert level techniques, tools, and stuff. So,
Wow, that's amazing. I will surely look up for that workshop as well. So,
yeah.
we have a question. We have 5 minutes left, so I'm going to take very few questions now. So,
Uh-huh.
VR Valia asks, any tips for someone who wants to organize workshops too?
Yeah, I mean, see, I think we have a population of 1 billion and odd people, right? The scope for anybody and everybody to organize workshops. Like I said, the one thing that you have to be very sure about is what you want to teach. Yeah, and this is one interesting thing, right? Let's say you want to teach watercolor painting or watercolor calligraphy or whatever topic. Make sure your page actually has those particular art forms, at least in the first 10 or 20 posts, right? Because normally when people come and try to book a ticket for a workshop, they end up going to the artist page first to see what they've actually done and if they actually done something recently. If not, they don't buy a ticket at all. So that is actually a pretty big thing. A lot of artists don't do. So they might be doing something else over Instagram page, but then they'll be connecting workshop on something completely different that wouldn't match at all. So, but then yeah, again, just keep your page active. That's very very important for participants to come and see if he or she is actually active. So yeah,
Amazing.
and learn the basics
So
of online marketing. That's all you need.
true, true. That's very true. That's an amazing advice. And Maria Faruqiyat, she asks, can you repeat the name of the planner or journal? So it is Dream, Believe, and Create by the Positive Store, if I'm
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I messaged her that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
amazing. Yes. So, Art by Fatima asks, do you have any idea to sell the paintings of the artists in future, like organizing exhibitions and all? That's an
So,
interesting question.
see, there's always been in the back of our mind to see how else we can use this platform to benefit artists, right? So, or at least help them build their brand and business. Not right now, but then we might eventually get into selling their original artworks or even prints, but not merchandise. So, because we already have a merchandise business, I know how
Yes.
difficult that is. But then we rather help the artists sell their original artwork on art pieces. And yeah, I think that might happen sometime this year. I don't know. But then yeah, that'll eventually happen.
I'm sure, I'm sure. So that's amazing, Gokul. I have only 4 minutes left to this live.
Ah, okay.
So I'm going to be concluding my interview with you. I think
Ah, okay.
it's, yes. Um, Yes, so thank you so much, Gokul, for being a part of my platform. It's been an honor, and especially, you agreeing to interview with me. I think it's huge for me because I think
Yeah,
I'm the
no.
first interviewer for you.
Actually, you know what? I think the reason I even accepted to do this is because I actually liked the fact that I like your name. First of all, the God of Orange is very, very interesting. And also the fact that I also went over, watched a couple of interviews. They were pretty good. So I'm like, okay, why not? Let me try it out. And my team was pushing me to do this as well. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, but hopefully it has come from your end as well. And your
Oh, yeah,
team
yeah. I mean, I
actually
think I
told
loved it.
me.
So
Yes.
they did. Oh, okay.
Yes, they told me that, it's amazing that, Gokul has actually agreed to interview with you because you're the first person he's actually, you're going to be I mean, he's taken up
Wow.
with. So,
Hey,
yes.
no, man. My pleasure. It was amazing. And thanks for the opportunity to share whatever 2 cents that I had. And thanks to all the artists. Thanks to my best friend for giving us some good laughs. So,
Yes. That's great. So thank you so much for your inputs, Gokul. And I'm sure our listeners learned a lot, and I have learned a lot myself.
thank
And
you.
it was wonderful having you here, Gokul. Thank you so much for tuning into God of Onions, guys. And y'all can
Yeah.
follow my page, God underscore of underscore onions, to see more interviews. Our next interview is going to be with me, Kigai, Urmi Bhatia. And also do follow our Spotify page and subscribe our YouTube channel, which is God of Onions as well.
Wow. Amazing. I will get you on Spotify.
Thank you so much, Gokul. Thanks
Hey,
a
you
ton.
should you should also launch your podcast on this thing called Castbox. I think it's Castbox or Castbox. So they are a big platform for podcasts.
Okay.
It's Castbox,
Yes.
Castbox. So you should probably launch your podcast there as well. That's a very big aggregator of podcasts.
I will surely check that out. And I
Yeah.
think I'm also going to be I'm going to be getting in touch with Savan as well as Ghana. I'm going to be publishing it in there as well very soon.
Ah,
And
okay. Wow.
one more thing, while this pandemic is over, I'm also going to be taking, hopefully, if I can take the interviews again with artists at
Uh-huh.
art galleries. And I think by the next month, I'm reaching out to a lot of universities globally.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Once I'm done with my set of interviews from the month of July, I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people, universities, and a lot of spaces who would love to
Wow.
listen to this podcast. I just needed a set of artists and a portfolio to build around, and this is going to come up
Yeah.
very soon for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me know if I can be of any help. We'll be more than happy to help you. Yeah.
That would be of great help, Gokul. Thank you so much. I will surely be getting in touch with you for that.
Definitely. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for taking time to do this. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Gokul. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, so much.